Welcome to Cap TV. I'm Greg, and I'll be bringing you the news this week while Yvette recovers from Cap's spring break. The European Commission announced today that U.S. internet gaming policies contradict World Trade Organization rules. As you all know, America is recovering from an 8-year lapse in judgment where international opinion was almost completely ignored. UIGEA policies make it impossible for international businesses to operate casinos inside the states. So, how would the new administration react to these comments? UIGEA? Gone. Here to comment on his recent decision, President Barack Obama himself. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, Greg. I'm a big fan of the show.
Well, thanks, but I've only been doing this show for a week.
I just say that to everyone.
That's alright. Let's talk about UIGEA.
Well, you and I both know that UIGEA should never have existed. It was simply a policy tacked on to a midnight bill by a midnight cowboy.
Now, I've heard you play a little bit of poker. Do you do any online gambling as well?
Greg, I'll tell you, I've done a little bit of online gambling myself. Sports games, poker, horse races. I had a couple thousand on the cane just in case.
I guess that's one way to hedge against the risk. Well, I know you're busy, so I'm going to let you run. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for getting rid of UIGEA once and for all.
It was my pleasure, Greg.
For more on this story, let's go to U.S. Representative from the state of Massachusetts, Barney Frank. Congressman Frank, you've always been a strong advocate for policies that protect individual freedoms.
Yet it's very true that the American people should have the right to conduct themselves in the manner that they see fit without unjustified intervention from the governing body. UIGEA was an unfair policy that did nothing against land-based gaming.
Do you have any comments for those that lobbied for it?
Those lobbyists are nothing but a group of slippery snakes that seek to stop the state's teaching of self-sovereignty.
Here with an opposing view on the matter is Republican figurehead Rush Limbaugh. Rush, what's your take on all of this?
This is horse feathers! The ego on this liberal political celebrity. To think he can undo 8 strong years of leadership like some sort of FDR wannabe.
Sir, you cannot talk like that on my show. Larry, do we have a backup opinion? Alright, roll. What a surprise. Mr. President, well, former Mr. President, W?
Call it what you will. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty. UIGEA was passed to protect the American people from terrorist operations. I have reason to believe that the Iraqi terrorists are running online gambling casino rooms on the interwebs. You see, since I left office, I've been on the internet a lot. I really don't have anything else to do, and Cheney won't return my calls.
Well, personal problems aside, how do you feel about UIGEA being overturned?
I'll tell you what, Greg. This is the biggest load of bull.
Well, since we can't seem to get any sort of intelligent response in favor of UIGEA, I guess that's all we have for you today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week here on Cap TV. Happy April Fool's Day, guys. Obviously, this is a little bit of a joke, but it doesn't have to be. Stick together, do your part, and it might not be far off that UIGEA is overturned once and for all. We're going to keep doing our part here at CAP, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Call it what you will. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty. UIGEA was passed to protect the American people from terrorist operations. Sorry.